Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me well? Am I audible and clear? Can anyone unmute or raise your hand and just
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
thank you, Panikrishna. Thank you so much for joining.
Very clear.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining in and responding to the survey as well. I will just begin in a short. We'll wait for a minute. Maybe we'll give some time for others to join. We'll wait for another 2 minutes. I see a lot of familiar faces, known people, senior optometrist, senior faculties from Manipal as well. I'm very happy to run this today's session. So most of the optometry colleagues might know me. I hope. Let me introduce myself. I'm Gopinath, an optometrist by practice and an optometry educator. Currently running my consultancy services. I also work at an institute called Achyuta Institute of Optometry, which is in Erode. And I try to balance both of my consultancy as well as my regular work from Achyuta. So I did my bachelor's from Shankar Nethralaya, master's and PhD from Manipal. I graduated in 2022 and so that's about me. So it's 7:02. Let me share my screen and directly jump into the today's session. I know as you guys, I am also equally excited. Okay, I hope you can see my screen and let me begin here from here. Yeah. So when I circulated the survey, I mean the registration form, I also asked the participants what are the biggest struggles that you face when you draft a research proposal. And I have tried to thematically put it in this way. These are the major constraints came up. My first one being time. I understand, yeah, as a busy clinicians and research scholars being like I see many PhD guides as well. So it's very difficult to manage the time with respect to drafting a good winning award winning as well as grant winning proposals and yeah, getting started or overcoming from the fear or many might have a brain fog when we start writing. That's there even for me. And next being literature review and synthesis, I think that we will see what we can do with it. Next aspect is framing objective methodology and rationally. Yeah, that it is very important when you are doing for a PhD or when you are planning for a multidisciplinary collaborative research or writing a grant for bigger grant companies or something like that. It's very important. How to structure it with respect to clarity, grammar, and flow. Yes, that was one of the major struggle reported and turning the ideas into a concise compiling write-up. So these are the key difficulties reported during the registration. Thank you for this all the information because I have tried to address three pain points with respect to all the constraints you have mentioned. Let me go to the first pain point. That's we have a broader idea and the idea to focus it must be converted as a research question. So pain points where how to start, narrow down research topic and framing research question. So as you all as a clinician or a researcher or a postgraduate or undergraduate student, we all see patients or we deal with any form of a research question during our clinical activities or in the case of if you are from other fields, if you are not involved in seeing patients, maybe from analyzing some data or doing some core cell based analysis or if you are working on an animal model, all these things. So we have a research like a very broad initial research question. We want to narrow down or niche down to a particular topic. So we have I have two different prompts, which is from my ebook. Before even I jump into how to use these prompts, I show how the ebook looks. So this is the ebook which has been developed by me, and it is a comprehensive guide to large language model prompts, mainly for healthcare research proposal development. If I scroll down, so we have different headlines from initial planning and topic development. We have around 25 prompts, title and abstract crafting, and specific to methodology in cases like study designs, population, and deciding what is the sampling you want to do. And if you are involved in RCTs or interventional studies or cohort follow-up studies, how we are going to improve your methodology, and some of the data collection instruments with respect to timelines, data management, especially quality assurance. And we also have prompts for statistical analysis plan, some ethical consideration, because most of the grant proposal looks for ethical consideration, and how we are going to disseminate the entire work in terms of conference or presenting in or publishing as a paper. Even I have prompts for this, even for developing Gantt chart, budget allocation, and how you are planning your research team and personnel, and all the environment with respect to research, some of the appendices, how to choose the bibliography and styling, and final review and refinement. So these are the major 12 subsections which we have, 11 or 12 subsections we have in this ebook. With believe me, all these are personally validated uh, prompts which I have used for my field. Like I belong to optometry, so I have tested in on optometry examples. So let me go back to the prompt again. So this is the first section, initial planning and development. So we have a prompt from 1.2, narrowing down a research topic. So I'll go to the prompt over here. So 1.2 is somewhere here. So narrowing down to a research topic. This is the prompt we are going to look. This is how the prompt looks. Given a topic, we can give a broad topic. Propose 3 focused research niche. Consider current literature gaps, methodological feasibility within a setting. It can be tertiary hospital or clinic, whatever it is. And what is the available patient population? If you are having funding as well or some other priority, that also can be included. So with these, we have developed the first prompt. Given the topic, because we have audiences from different fields, I'm going to copy this and go to ChatGPT. Not anywhere, in the sense I'm not going to go with any extension. I hope most of you are aware how to use the ChatGPT and ethically. That's what I wanted to convey. You can see you have ChatGPT, mainly the GPT extensions. I'm not going to any extension. I'm going to directly to the new chat, which is over here. I'm pasting it here without any modification and going with just, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. So this is the result from ChatGPT. As you can see, it has looked at the impact. So it is picking up some of the literature rationally. We have to be very careful, because sometimes or many a times ChatGPT hallucinate. So as a clinician, it's your responsibility to decide whether it is proper or not. Why I am telling this? So all the prompts which I'm going to demonstrate right away are only going to assist you in terms of improving your protocol, not write the protocol for you. So you have to be very clear, at least a small research topic you should be very clear with, then you can further go with. So if I take one example, so this is first research question it has picked up. Impact of telehealth delivered medication adherence counseling towards blood pressure control among rural adults with chronic hypertension. It has looked at the feasibility, some of the health disparities, and it is providing with evaluating monthly telecounseling improves medication adherence. also it is giving us a scale as a tool. So you need not sit and crack your head, okay, what tool should I look for looking at the adherence, or you need not sit and create a something for adherence aspect. So it must be a validated tool. So we are going to this MOSI scale, because I'm running this for the first time with this research question. So it has the uh, adherence. I think it must have adherence thing. There is licensing involved. So I'm not going into any of this. So I just wanted to convey there is an option. It can pick up some tools as well. There is some second question, mainly looking at RCT, comparing BP and behaviors, example diet score, physical health in comparison with telehealth or in person over 6 months. So it has provided it with three different research questions, and further it takes you to the next set of questions, like would you like to provide me with objectives, methodology, or references, or any of these with respect to any of this niche. So since we are not focused with that, I'm going to the second prompt, which is over here. 1 second. So this is the second prompt. First being narrowing down to a research topic. Second is accessing the research feasibility. So we have this prompt. I'm going to copy this prompt again. So you can see I have provided whatever in black or bold format. That's the replacing place where you are supposed to change with respect to your research question. So conduct a feasibility assessment for an RCT trial or mixed method implementation for this research question, that is telehealth in managing chronic hypertension among rural adults population. It's focused towards low health literacy or ethnic minority patients. So we can also suggest evaluate the ethical consideration, required expertise, participant recruitment and retention stages, any budget constraints. So I'm going to copy this. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Since I have asked a question in this chat, I'm going to continue with the same chat, not with a new one. I'll paste it here. So it is running it. So for example, this is the title. It is giving us options of if it is an RCT, how we are supposed to do. If it is a mixed method implementation, how we are supposed to do. Some of the ethical consideration for both RCT and mixed method types, required expertise with respect to who are all are actually needed to conduct this study, how we can improve with respect to participant recruitment and retaining the patients from the RCT, some of the budget considerations, and how we can manage the data. And it is also giving us a realistic project timeline, 1 month, 3 months to 6 months till 1 year. And it is giving us a feasibility summary, whether it is feasible, technically sound, whether we can access to participant, how about the retention risk, a budget feasibility and time frame. So this is how you can, if you are not aware or not sure about anything, you just have a research question, you can very well go to this particular prompt which I have showed now and further ask with a research question. So that's the first pain point I thought I will share. Let's go to the second pain point, finding why. That's a literature gap. So mainly literature review, creating a coherent flow and identifying the gaps. If you can see this Smith 2021 and Jones 2021 is just a random thing. Yeah, this is the place. I'm going to copy this point. Let's continue there itself in the same chat. Otherwise, what you can do is I'm going to go to ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, there is an extension called, since we are doing a literature review aspect, there is an extension called SciSpace. So SciSpace is one of the literature review tool. Yeah, this is the one. So 1 second, I'm going to go back again. SciSpace. So once you go to SciSpace, SciSpace is a platform where you can perform actually literature review. And I'm going to paste that particular research question over here and say enter. So what it is going to do, it is going to ask you. So it is a critical evaluation from the Smith. And yeah, it's a, as I told before, sometimes it can hallucinate and provide you with some random things. So in this case, let it type. I'm going to show you some other technique how we can avoid the hallucination. So instead of accepting whatever the chat GPT says now, so actually we can say explore the SciSpace. So once you give this prompt, it will ask you whether we can connect with the SciSpace. So talking to the connector, it says talking to the connector. That means it is trying to connect with the SciSpace and you have to give confirm. And once you connect it to SciSpace, actually it is picking up the original research, not the hallucinated literature review. As you can see, it is going down. It is synthesizing papers. So there is a paper from BMC Public Health. Let me, by the time it finishes, I'll go to this page. So you will land in this particular page. So you can see qualified health centers patients experience with remote patient monitoring for high blood pressure. So this is exactly we were looking at. It is very recent, published in a very reputed journal, BMC Health Services Research. Likewise, it can provide you with papers as well as summary. It can refine our research question further. So this is about the second prompt I thought I will share. I'll go back to the prompt section again. So we have the next prompt, that is critically appraising the existing literature. So since we have done the literature review in that particular SciSpace, I am copying this, going to the same place and pasting this question. It is actually going to critically appraise whatever papers which it has picked up. So strength across papers. So you can see Hossein et al. And this one, what are the strengths? It is also picking up the methodological limitations. You can go and verify, in fact. So most studies employed observational, either a cross-sectional or cohort. There is lack of RCT. Sample size is very relatively small and convenient sampling has been adapted. That's again one of the limitation. They have not picked up with the confounding factors, and there are like multiple variabilities with respect to the multiple variabilities and reliability aspects. So at the end, you can see there is a conclusion. So existing telehealth studies on rural hypertension care offer valuable early insights, but hampered by methodological constraint. Mainly, it has not picked up the key issues of sample representativeness, confounding control, and other analytical rigor. So we can further and go and ask. So this is also giving some research questions. So we can go back to this place, which was regular chat. We can refine the research question over here from the literature we have done. So ideally, you are supposed to do the literature review and then come back to the chat. Either of them, you can do any of this. And let me go to the final prompt. So this is the final prompt I thought I will share you. Next is the building how or justifying research methods. So we know we have picked up a research question. We have done a literature review. So there is a research question available, literature review done, but methodological aspects, we do not know whether it is proper or not. So I'm going to copy both the prompts together now. One shows justifying the chosen study is correct or not. Only aspect you are going to see here is the convergent mixed method study design. And here you are just giving the study details. So with these two prompts, I'm going to go back to the chat which we did. This is the chat we did and paste it here. So right now is going to do a comprehensive response methodological justification mainly for the convergent mixed method study, and it is actually doing a proper review for you. So it is particularly well suited for studies and selection of sampling methods. Probability sampling are characterized by what? Non-probability in our research question is characterized by what? And for these studies, stratified sampling is the most appropriate choice. And you can actually divide the population into subgroups as per strata. So we many a times when we go with sampling, especially stratified sampling, we may not know how to stratify them. We know gender, age group, but here it is giving extra aspects like health literacy, region specific, especially the PHC zones. And yeah, it is again taking you to the next level, like you wanted to further like propose or proceed with the further aspects. So these are the three key points I thought I will share. And one more thing, okay, before I go to the main aspect, so I am open for questions and answers. Like this is what I thought I will share. So only three pain points with the properly developed research question. I mean prompts. How fast we can finish literature review, broaden with what is the literature available, introduction or narrowing down to the research topic. Also, how we can justify the research methods. Yes, Pani Krishna, you can. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Sure, we can take up questions, please. Yeah, you can unmute
Thank
yourself.
you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was interesting, actually. And this is the first time I was actually hearing about so much in detail about research, which is within ChatGPT. I was using it for some other purposes, regular purposes. So my question is, I tried exploring a few topics in ChatGPT, like a very basic refraction, all those stuff. But when I actually closely examine the references which it used, half of them are found to be hypothetical references. I couldn't even download them or I couldn't track them, neither I can search them. How and why it is happening, so how to make it improve actually.
In ChatGPT, see, before I answer this, I don't have any financial disclosures with any of the tools I have shared. When ChatGPT was launched in 2022, November or October, from the time it has been evolving. Till last year, even now, it is always hallucinate when it comes to references. It picks up from random papers. It randomly gives you a title, random DOI, random journal, which is not at all there. So make sure you are when you do a literature review appraisal or you want to look at the literature review, either go to the extension of ChatGPT, either the Google Scholar extension. Let me reshare my screen again. I'll show you what it is. So if you go to ChatGPT, there are two things. One is the size space which I showed. If you remember the size space which we just
Yes,
now,
sir.
all are proper.
Yes, sir.
These are all not hallucinated papers. If I go up, yeah, all these papers are actually true. It is not just like picked up.
Working links. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a proper paper. And you can either use this or there is another extension called Google Scholar. We have the Scholar GPT, right? Google Scholar. There is
Yes,
some
sir.
Scholar.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Even this actually gives you a proper answer. So if you want, like for example, try this is a systematic review. I'm just giving a random question. And it actually goes to the Scholar GPT, says it is talking to the connector. So you are just allowing,
Yes, sir.
and it will pick up papers only from all the index journals or from the
Authentic.
Scholar. It will be
Sir,
up.
these extensions you're talking about are paid versions of the GPT or they are free
I
versions, sir?
paid versions. Like I always use the
Okay. Okay. Okay.
ones. So if I go here, see this is the paper. It says meta
Okay.
and nano emulsion cyclosporine. So whether this is a proper paper, yeah, efficacy and safety of cyclosporine and a systematic review and meta analysis, which is a recent paper. You can see it is 2025. So it's a future paper. So it is already there available.
Mhm.
It will not hallucinate if you do like this. Otherwise, it will hallucinate definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
We can take a couple of questions before we wind up. Any other questions? If you want to unmute or put it in the chat box. Yeah, so Mohammed Hamid, thank you for your message. You are looking for the prompts. I'll tell you I have an interesting announcement after the talk. So Shweta is asking about, are there any appraisal tools available in ChatGPT? So far, I don't know really. What I would suggest is you pick up all the papers which you are likely to appraise. Go to the appraising tools like CASP or JAMA, like mainly the CASP critical appraisal tool. And maybe you can club the papers and put it in the ChatGPT as a single PDF and insert the critical appraisal questions, then ask the ChatGPT to do a critical appraisal, it will do. Automatically, if you ask, like just like that, if you ask them to do a critical appraisal, I don't think it will do it. So that's the answer for Shweta. Okay. Any other questions or any other suggestions?
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Uh, okay, Mr. Abhinesh, yeah, please tell.
So this is Abhinesh. Just want to know the part anything on the data analysis.
Your voice is breaking. Can you put it in the chat if possible? Your question? Okay, Binu is asking about the literature review. I will tell you separately. So I will go back to my share screening and so as you can see, the last slide. So so I just thought if actually within 10-15 minutes we can do so much with the prompts. I'm sure we can do wonders with the books. I am actually running a two-part full version of session, which is going to be happening on July 3rd and 4th, most probably. And if you are attending this session, you will get 300 plus prompt book, whatever I have showed you. I will take you through the step-by-step process of doing these entire prompt aspects. You will also get certificates and templates. Why attend? I hope I am an expert in this doing because last 2.5 years I've been doing this. More over 100 professionals have already taken some training under a research tool. Overall, previous workshops have got a good rating over 4.65, and most of the prompts are pre-tested, so you can very well blindly use these. I can assure for that. So this is the link for that, and I also have this offer for first 10 spots. You get it only at 1,000. Actual price for the entire session is 1,250. If you are coming under the first 10, the link which I'm going to share, let me put it in the chat box. So once you go here, 1 second, sorry, I'll put it in the chat box. Give me a second. Yeah. So this is the link and register. And I'm again open for any questions. So for the first, so actually it is 1,250 rupees. If you're registering through this workshop or the demo session, it is actually 1,000 rupees. So that's about it. And yeah, I'm open for more questions as well. We have another 2-3 minutes which we can utilize. Okay, Mr. Mohammed, I can share the recordings if you are busy on that thing. Not a problem. If you register, we can. So is there any ethical? So we have a couple of questions. Acceptable use ChatGPT validating a questionnaire instead of seeking an expert? I don't think so. That is you can do something. I can explain it during the session. There is an option like you can tell the ChatGPT be an expert of ophthalmologist or optometrist, whatever field you are looking at, and then comment. But there are tools apart from ChatGPT which can do these aspects better. In the sense, not ChatGPT, there are other tools as well. So is there any ethical issue regarding the usage of GPT? So most of the research aspects or the current journals looking when you submit a paper, they ask for a declaration of usage of any form of chat GPT or the any tools, any large language models. So in that case, you are supposed to explain them that it was used for what purpose. You cannot develop everything from scratch using ChatGPT or whatever the tool is. It needs to be very well told, like it was used for concising or outlining the ideas or for grammar check or looking at the flow or assessing the flow, something like that. Completely using. So I am again emphasizing ChatGPT or LLM, whatever large language models we use, it is not here to replace us. It is only to help us. So that's why the entire session is mainly AI assisted proposal writing, not AI using. So all the prompts has to be edited as per your requirement. That's when your integrity or your research skill comes in. Okay. I think thank you so much. We have only 4 more minutes for the session. So I am going to post the link again in the group in the chat box. If you are looking for registering, you are very well do it. I will also share the link for registration, maybe via email before tonight. You can use that link and register as well. So for that purpose, I'm just going to take some screenshots who has attended just to have a monitoring, since I don't have the premium version of the 1 second. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. We will today's video again. Yeah, today's video I'll share again. It will be shared across.